Yeah, let's go. Yeah. We came a long way. That's what the song say. And I could do all.
It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports, and the wait is over for this rivalry game. It's the Bills and the Fins on EA Sports.
It is a tropical, hot summer afternoon, so staying hydrated going to be key for the players, the fans, even the commentators as we are at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. This crowd a few minutes ago stirred into action at the side of their Dolphins emerging from the Hard Rock Stadium tunnels, and we are ready to go as the Dolphins get set to match up with the Buffalo Bills. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And Charles, our ball game here featuring a couple of young quarterbacks a lot of people have their eye on. Josh Allen of the Bills, Tua Tagovailoa of the Dolphins.
Yeah, Brandon, we're starting to see some of the old guard moving on. Guys like Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, Eli Manning. And in their place, there have been some dynamic young guys who have come into the league, not just this year, but in the last 3 or 4 years in particular. They've really changed the quarterback position. I think both of these guys fit into that category. Youth is being served.
The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins ready to go to work on offense, led by their second-year quarterback out of Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
To absolutely no one's surprise, the Dolphins did invest a high first-round pick, number 5 overall, to draft Tua in 2020. I think that most people would say that his rookie year had plenty of positives, but it was sprinkled with a few negatives as well. Remember, he controversially took over for Ryan Fitzpatrick during the open week prior to Week 8. Miami did go 6-3 in his starts from that time, but he had to get rescued a few times in games by Fitzmagic. And in his own words, he called his rookie year below average. I don't think the franchise believes that, but they're looking forward to seeing him improve.
The pass there over the middle to start things out. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
A play fake for Gaskin. Now Tua. And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. The veteran Jerry Hughes drops the hammer in the backfield. Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop at the running back? You just run straight for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on third down here. And that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
So on fourth down, the Dolphins' new punter for 2021, Michael Palardy, on to punt. Isaiah McKenzie is back deep for the Bills. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And we see the Bills offense take the field here at quarterback, Josh Allen.
And in this league, there are many quarterbacks who have their most success running the ball, while there are others who have big arms. There aren't too many guys who can do both. And at the end of many games, this guy leads his team not just in passing, but in rushing as well.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 38. Here's Devin Singletary. He played in this state at Florida Atlantic. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Samuel Aguavin makes the stop.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
From the 39, Allen. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
A play fake to Singletary, and now it's Allen. And that is incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
On 4th down, on is the former Dolphin Matt Hawk to punt for Buffalo. Shaquem Grant back deep for Miami. And he'll get this away into the humid Florida sky. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Well, Charles, the Miami Dolphins, this is a team last year that started 1-3, then really picked things up, finished 10-6, missed the playoffs, though, after getting blown out by the Bills in Week 17. But I'm intrigued to watch Miami and if they can make another step in the right direction this year.
I'm with you on that one. I like the positive that you listed. Hey, this team went 10-6 last year, missed the playoffs by 1 game. If they had won at Buffalo in Week 17, they go to the playoffs. But here's the note of caution. Just 2 of their wins last year came against teams with a 500 or better record. So they've got to do a better job in that regard, and it starts early for them. They open up at New England, who we expect to be significantly improved, and then they're home against Buffalo right out the gate before a Week 3 trip to go see the Raiders. If they want to get to the playoffs, they've got to win some of those close games against tough opponents.
Yeah, Week 1, that's a battle of Alabama quarterbacks. Tua going against Mac Jones. Should be an interesting one to get the season started. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Tua going to throw. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for the tight end, Adam Shaheen, that time. And it's 3rd and 4. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Tua sets up to pass it. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. So Tua making the completion there. What's different about playing a left-handed quarterback like him? And specifically, I guess, what does this defense need to try and take away?
I'll take the first part that you asked about being left-handed. We've got to find out if he can move to his right and still continue to be accurate. So I want to push him in that direction and see if he can get his body squared around and make those throws that he's used to making. The next part is he's a dart thrower. Loves those short to intermediate routes first. Sit on those and make him throw the deep ball. Not that he's not capable, but you want him to prove it to you first.
Now the former Washington Husky, here's Myles Gaskin. And he'll have the Dolphins 1st down. His good running gets him to about the 44.
A nice substantial run there by Gaskin, who was the Dolphins' leading rusher in 2020. 584 total yards in just 7 starts and got stronger as the season went on. Not bad for a 7th-round pick in 2019. He was drafted number 234 overall that season.
A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Here's Tua. Incomplete. This is Albert Wilson. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find them at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
And sometimes you see big plays develop on a route like this, a slant route. And the object, very simple. Get the ball to your receiver in stride. This one was right on the money. He didn't miss a beat. And then it's off to the races, and there he goes.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Touchdown, Dolphins! Will Fuller on the receiving end of the touchdown pass from Tua. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And that makes it 7-0 Dolphins. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Isaiah McKenzie now on the return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
Let's go, boys. Bring it on.
Well, Charles, a lot of excitement for Buffalo Bills fans heading into 2021. And you're going to have their first game week 1 against the Steelers. But you look at their 2020 season, the most successful in Buffalo since those Jim Kelly days in the 90s. Their first AFC East title since 95.
Yeah, and this fan base, the Bills Mafia, beyond stoked to watch these games. They can't wait, and welcoming in the Steelers right out of the gate is a big one for them. I think this Buffalo Bills team can go back to the AFC Championship game and maybe even get to the Super Bowl. We know about the offense. Josh Allen will keep getting better at quarterback. Stephon Diggs is still out there. But on defense, I love their draft. Greg Rousseau and Carlos Boogie Basham, 2 defensive ends who can rush the passer, exactly what this team needs to possibly get them over the hump.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. Now Allen. Finding Knox there, complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Just to pick up a 3, but that is indeed enough.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Singletary. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 12 yards that time, and a Bills first down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
They'll run on first down with Singletary. Jerome Baker, Dolphins leading tackler in 2020, in on the stop there. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. To throw, it's Allen. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Another tremendous play by Xavier Howard. 10 interceptions, led the NFL last year. He was the first defender since Antonio Cromartie in 2007 with 10 or more in a season. When you throw it in his area, you're taking a gamble.
Miami's offense set and ready to go. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They'll run now with Gaskin, and he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10. This defense, tough to run against, and those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the second level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact when they wrap up like that.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, it's Tua. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Give them 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
That sun's going to be a factor all game long. I'm not sure it made a difference on that one, but it's something to think about on all deep throws during this time of year.
2nd and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Going to the air. Tagovailoa. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time.
We got this.
Back now on offense, the Buffalo Bills. The result's not great thus far. A punt on the first drive and an interception last time out.
And let's face it, every team wants to come out on the field and play with some confidence, play with some tempo, play with some rhythm. And when you're making those types of mistakes, you're not getting any of that put together.
So what do you say, time to get back to the basics for them?
In a lot of ways, yes, but the biggest one, of course, is finding people who will take care of the football and make a few plays. You've got to have a drive now that calms down the entire team.
On first down, they'll start out with Singletary. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. A tough running, but not a ton to show for it. They stop him shy of the 25. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphins shaking up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Allen. Buying time to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs. With nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Now Zach Moss played prep ball 8 miles from here in Hollandale Beach. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
To the air, Allen. This one incomplete. Probably should have been picked. A little nonchalant with the throw to the safety valve, but it's 4th down.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And the Dolphins drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Miami set to take over. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. On the handoff, it's Gaskin. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. This is Gaskin on the carry. Breaks a tackle. And down he'll go at the 25. Another 6-yard carry. Same as last play. 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter from Miami. It's the Dolphins with the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up. Here's Gaskin. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, they won't bump that to his resume reel, but that might be one of the best 1-yard runs I've seen.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. And able to find Gesicki as tight end. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Tua finding Gesicki there for a Dolphin first.
Oftentimes we think of those tough yards as grinding yards that a running back has to pick up. How about the tight end there picking up the first down in that situation?
That's what he's there for, right?
Big fella, get it to him, let him fight off some people and pick up the necessary yardage.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And a loose football. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. And to give this time to the tailback. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Boom! Big hit all day.
And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team that had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he's on to punt for Miami. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Play action. Now it's Allen. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. That catch good for only a couple.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position He's actually utilized more of a scat back in this spot because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. On second down, here's a run with Singletary. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those three guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, are usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
This offense is starting to get into rhythm. A nice quick throw there on target, able to pick up another first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On the handoff, it's Singletary. Pushes past him to the 40 and no further, so the razzle-dazzle didn't get him much. Xavier Howard, the all-pro corner, up to make the stop.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there, but how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
From the 40 now on second down. Allen. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 45-yard line. 15 yards that time and a Buffalo first.
I like this young guy out of Ole Miss in his third year with Buffalo. Prototypical size for a tight end, 6'4", 254. I thought 2020 would be a big year for him. I do think it will happen in 2021.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On the give, this is Singletary. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. Only needing 2 yards on second down. Now a run with Singletary. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Allen now on first down. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. He was looking for Devin Singletary there. And it's second down. Singletary here running out of the gun. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Allen to throw it. And that will be incomplete. The Dolphins do the job defensively there, and now it brings up fourth.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
The kick by Bass is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the third drives the charm. They are on the board, albeit with just a field goal.
Yeah, 3 points from 3 drives. That's not going to win you a whole lot of football games. Hopefully the fact they were able to move the ball a little bit can wake up their offense.
So after knocking through the field goal, here's Bass to kick it away. This is Jakeem Grant. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Tua and the rest of the Dolphin offense heading back out. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The veteran Mario Addison in there to drop him for a loss. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
And this is caught. It's Parker. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
If you're a wide receiver and they call a screen pass, you're counting on some people being out in front of you blocking, but that play was well diagnosed by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, and they got there and swarmed and finished off the play.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 16. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. And that is incomplete.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. Here's Michael Pilardi now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Buffalo offense and Devin Singletary heading back out there. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game, but in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. On play action, Allen. This is brought in by the tight end, Tommy Sweeney. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
Going deep for Diggs. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Well, their first 2 drives only yielded 3 points. They might be thinking it's time to make something happen. Push the ball downfield and try and gain some points that way. Unfortunately, incomplete.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. So the shotgun snap to Allen, and that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Tua and the rest of the Dolphin offense heading back out. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Tua. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
We saw this jumping jack make steady improvement his first 3 years in Miami. And he topped it off with 53 catches last year, career high. Now in his 4th season, I expect his numbers to continue to rise.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And running with power here. And he'll be brought down with the first down after a gain of about 11 as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Tua going to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Here's Tua. Now the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. Now, if you're a fan of punting, this game's for you. He's been out there quite a bit. That one maybe his best yet.
Yeah, he certainly got his leg loose by now. It kind of reminds me of my college football coach, John Majors. He loved the punting game because he liked the positioning, the field position, and he loved to play defense.
First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. Singletary to get the drive started. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. 59 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Allen going to throw. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. The hit comes late. We saw it. There's your flag.
And we know that there's a guideline, right? Ball's gone. You get 1 step. If you're within 1 step of the quarterback, you can hit him as long as it's still done legally. But anything outside of that looks like an extra step was involved.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Allen. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. 7 yards, the pickup there.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a 2-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now Allen. And that's caught inside the 35. And down inside the 10 at the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So it's 1st and goal, and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Allen to throw once more. Left side here to Sanders. Touchdown, Bills! Josh Allen with a touchdown pass to the veteran Emmanuel Sanders. And the Bills have taken the lead. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left them reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know, they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead is now 10-7. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Jakeem Grant now to return. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And they will not really have time to do much of anything. 15 seconds, all that remains before halftime. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Teron Johnson able to pick it. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. Wow, a big mistake there. Late interception in this first half, and that could lead to a field goal try the other way.
Yeah, I think at this point you just had to say, let's take a knee and go in at the half and regroup. Let's just talk it over a little bit. I wonder, partner, was the analytics coach in his head a little bit? Maybe go ahead and press it and try and get some points? While the old school coach probably would have said, take the knee, let's get out of here.
Now we could see points the other way here. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. Tua, the final shot before half. And that is incomplete. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills taking the lead to the locker room. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. It was a terrific first half from the mobile big man quarterback, Josh Allen. First, though, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Bills. And their passing game has been the reason why they lead thus far. They've had great success moving the ball through 2 quarters of play. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, they too found some success throwing the football. But I think both teams would say there's room for improvement in the second half.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these 2 teams as we come back for this second half. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. Returning it, Isaiah McKenzie. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
Let's go.
Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Throwing now is Allen. The left side caught by Diggs. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here. They'll run out of the gun with Singletary. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 74 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 47. Allen now looks to throw. Out to the left, he's got his tight end Knox. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. They had 2 straight 1st downs, now a gain of 9 to set up 2nd and 1. They will run with Singletary. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On 1st down, they stick with Singletary. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. On play action, Allen. It's complete to Diggs. Allen to Diggs there for a Buffalo first.
We all saw the talent, the big plays in Minnesota, but Stephon Diggs really elevated his game in Buffalo last year. Led the NFL in catches with 127. There's another one right there.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And he slides to a halt inside the 10. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. Moss. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, it's apparent the defense understands the situation. They have to keep them out of the end zone here. That's a great start by them. A loss on that play. Can they force them into a field goal attempt and still give their offense an opportunity?
Back at the 2 now. Here's second and goal. Moss once more. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Bills touchdown. Zach Moss taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Bills take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. That time, a 9-play drive. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. Tua and the rest of the Dolphin offense heading back out. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? You know, shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
I know they'd like to erase that video and those 4 sacks that they've seen so far. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Jerry Hughes on the stop.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
On 2nd and 7, Tua. Caught by Wilson. His second catch, and this one not nearly as electrifying as his first. And it'll bring up 3rd down now.
Push him back. Push him back.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Michael Pilardi now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes Josh Allen and the Bills offense back onto the field. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win.
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Tommy Sweeney, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. To the air, Allen. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Well, sometimes despite the best planning, the defense actually has a plan as well, and they blanketed everyone on that play. They were able to close it down and spill him for a loss.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. To throw, it's Allen. Escaping the pressure right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
Under the category of obvious, you hate giving up a first down on 3rd and long. And somehow he finds his way downfield and picks it up.
If you look at the coverage defensively, oh, this is great, but no one accounted for him at the quarterback spot.
At some point, you actually have to tackle him and get him on the ground short of the first down marker.
On first down, Singletary, and he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Still 9 remaining on 2nd down. Here's Allen to throw it. And Diggs has it. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 30. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On the ground, it's Singletary. Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Singletary again. Pushes him over. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And this one caught by Beasley. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
The kick by Bass is good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that can all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
So after knocking through the field goal, here's Bass to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Looking to pass. Tua. It's complete to Fuller. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down. They'll run now with Gaskin. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Tua. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Tua sets up to pass it. Able to find Shaheen, the tight end. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a 1st down.
Well, worth noting, that visiting sideline is getting the worst of the sun right now. It can definitely play a factor, especially because the other sideline is in full shade. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. From midfield, here's Tua. He gets this complete to Shaheen, the tight end. And he's got a 1st down as the tackle made at the Bills' 35. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. It's Dolphin football, but they trail here as we get set for the 4th. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Tua. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
From the 31, Tua. Shaheen, the tight end, on the right side. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
The Dolphins on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. Being chased out left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
That's something we have not seen him do to this point, and that's take the ball, tuck it, and run.
Exactly right. His first carry of the game. I guess he picked a good time to do it.
He certainly did. Not only did he have the element of surprise, he's making sure he's judicious in taking off.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Check. Mike's 49. Ready, go. You must be dreaming.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
We're going to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Tua. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Ed Oliver that time the one to get in there and bring him down. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front and getting to him. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Tua going to throw. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And this is incomplete. Oh, that looked like a sure 6 points. But he could not get that to stick, and that is a golden opportunity wasted there.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
Hey, kill.
The kick by Sanders is good. And that cuts into the deficit. It's now 20-10. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. From his end zone, Isaiah McKenzie. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11.
Let's go.
The Buffalo offense and Devin Singletary heading back out there. He is knocking on the door for 100 yards in this ball game.
And it's so important. It doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal, just short of it, a little bit over. A little bit over feels better to everyone. Offensive line, running back, team totals, just something magical about breaking that barrier.
He's right there on the doorstep now. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 11. He'll give it to Singletary here to start the drive. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Right back to Singletary on 2nd down. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going. Throwing is Allen on third. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Xavier Howard.
Hey, let's go. Interception. All day.
Now with that interception, you feel like we got a ball game again. Remember, 2-score contest and still time left here in the fourth.
And in the old days, not too long gone either, throwing the ball here would have been an absolute no-no. But the way the game's played now, throwing it makes sense. You just have to be careful when you put it in the air.
Dolphins offense returning to the field. The interception was a great starting point, but now they need points pretty quickly, down 2 scores. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. After the turnover, it's Tua. Looking for the end zone. And this one is incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target. And that'll bring up second down.
They're down 2 scores, and they need a quick one to try and get back into this one. That was one way to try and get it done. Unsuccessful in the attempt, but they have no choice but to keep trying.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Now Tua on the bootleg here. He'll get that one to Carter complete. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Good sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
Tagovailoa are going to try and throw on 3rd down. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
Sanders' kick is good. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a 1-score game at 20-13. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. McKenzie will not return this, and it'll be brought out to the 25. Josh Allen leads the offense out for their next possession, and he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Flush to his right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. He'll try and run for this with Singletary. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
It's always been funny to me, Brandon, when coaches always talk about on hot days like the one we have here. Oh, it's hot for both teams. But when one team has the advantage, when one team is running the ball really well and closing things out, it's hotter for the defensive side, and they sag a lot quicker.
Yeah, they say the dog days of August, the heat we're seeing here today, dog days of September, and the advantage right now on the offensive side. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And now they'll throw with Allen. Then he finds Beasley, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 41. Play action. Now it's Allen. Rolling to his left. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Jerome Baker right there in coverage.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
Here's 2nd and 10. On play action, Allen. Now he'll escape to his right. Uses the stiff arm. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away, and he winds up only picking up a yard or 2.
Eighth play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Allen now looks to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. 1st down would have been nice, but now you get to kick the field goal, still go up 2 scores.
They tried to get it, though, didn't they? Threw the pass, got the completion just short of the 1st down, but you're exactly right. Run the field goal unit out there, kick it, put it through the post, go up 2 scores.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Now Allen off the bootleg. That's to his running back, complete. And he'll have the 1st down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. What a chance they just took, a huge chance. They go for it on 4th down, wind up getting the 1st.
Go ahead and admit it. You thought it was a bad call, didn't you?
I did, yes.
I think any normal person did. How about him picking it up? Give him credit.
Operating from the red zone now, Allen. And he'll get this underneath to Singletary. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Josh Allen, very athletic at 6'5", showing the versatility, picking up the first on the scramble.
How many times have we seen this late in the fourth quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got it first and goal as they search for what could be a game-sealing touchdown. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Second and goal from the 1. They'll look to run with Singletary. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown run for Devin Singletary. And the Bills will add on to their lead.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt away the game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run-pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done, because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. The return man is Grant. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Tua Tagovailoa in the offense heading back out. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes about him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Tua able to find Shaheen here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. Fifth catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And he goes out right around the 39. 3 yards the gain there, second down. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
Now Tua. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
And now the focus is really clear. They need to get that first down and either get out of bounds or maybe use one of those timeouts.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Tagovailoa. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. And that's into the hands of Gesicki. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Tua to throw. He completes it to Wilson. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Tua. He'll get this out wide to Gaskin. Give him 6 on the play, and it's a second down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
Four yards remain for second down. Tua sets up to pass it. Finding Gaskin underneath. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Tua setting up shop to throw again. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. Now the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up second down.
And now defensively in the 2-minute drill, the big key to me, make sure you understand your assignments, and anytime you get a chance to tackle someone in bounds, get them on the ground.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Tua, he's going to go up top for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
49, guys. Mike, 49. I got you, Pop. Ready, go.
Looking to pass. Tua. Throw left side here, complete to the tight end, Gesicki. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And we talk so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams, right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, that's to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.